Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Detail back for another video here today, and I am back with my Week 2 NFL game picks. I had a pretty solid Week 1. I believe I went 13-2 and 1, but obviously I got the Thursday night game wrong with Tampa Bay at Carolina. I had Carolina winning 24-20, and that did not happen at all. Plain and simple, Cam Newton's hurt. And if this team wants success, he has to be able to both run and pass the football as he usually does. Not to mention, they didn't get their best weapon in Christian McCaffrey involved too much. Well, you did see DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Greg Olsen, all be good contributors. It's just not enough. Their defense did a good job keeping it a minute, but this team is not the same if Cam Newton is not the same. So going forward, my expectations are a little bit hindered now, but we'll just have to see. Congrats to the Bucks, Jameis. He's safe this week. That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't expect that to necessarily replicate going forward. So let's just move on. Arizona at Baltimore. I have Baltimore winning 30-17. This is a game the Ravens should take pretty handily. The Cardinals struggled, you know, all the way up until the late third quarter last week. While you did see some good things out of Kyler Murray, it's just too tough. And obviously the Ravens are coming with supreme confidence, and I just don't. The Ravens are just a much better team. If the Cardinals even are close in this game late, I will be shocked. But I think the Ravens just moved to 2-0, plain and simple. I don't think there's too much to discuss there. So, moving on, we got the Cowboys going to Washington. I have the Cowboys winning 31-20. This is a game the Cowboys should be comfortable in. While the Redskins played pretty well in the first half against the Eagles last week, I just don't think this is a team that can replicate that kind of performance going forward. And not to mention, even though the first half was so strong, they didn't score a single point after that, or until super late in the fourth, I believe. And you just can't do that. You can't get a huge lead and then just not score in the second half. You don't let a team come back like that. So I think the Cowboys are just a better team. Once again, I think they will show that they are a threat in the NFC. Not just against the poor New York Giants. I think doing it against Washington, people were like, okay, maybe they can sustain this throughout the season. Moving on, we got the Colts at Titans. I have the Titans winning 27-18. I think that defensive performance has definitely swayed this pick for me. Last week, the Titans dominated the Browns. While I think Indy will put up a better fight than the Browns did, I just think the Titans will establish a run game pretty handily, and they're going to play strong defense again. While I think Jacoby Brissett will be good for the Colts this season, I just don't think they're winning this game. That's really it. The Titans are going to play strong defense. They're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry, and they're going to try to keep the ball in Mario's hands. As bad as that sounds, it's just the truth. That's what they have to do to win. So, yeah. Moving on, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at Seattle Seahawks. I actually have the Seahawks winning 27-24. I think this will be a close game, and I don't think either team will look particularly good, but the Seahawks are at home, and Pittsburgh looked beyond bad last week. I think you can't give Dante Moncrief that many targets, and the Patriots did a really good job of shutting down the run. And I think this is a game where the Steelers will find themselves having trouble running the ball once again. And the Seahawks, they did quite the opposite. They were able to run the ball with Chris Carson, and he was pretty effective. So you got him involved in the passing game. This is going to be kind of a dogfight, and I expect Seattle to. I think the home field advantage will play a factor in this game. And like I said, I don't think any team will look particularly good, but the Seahawks will do enough to win this game just barely. So Yeah, take that as you will. Up next, we got Buffalo Bills face the Giants. I have the Bills winning 24-17. I just think the Bills are a better team than people will expect. This is a team that can play really, really strong defense. And I think their weapons are good enough. And Josh Allen, he's an effective quarterback. Maybe while he's not the best passer just yet, I think he's a threat. And I think the people have to take the Bills a little bit more seriously. Uh, even though they just barely won the game against the Jets, it's the Giants. I think the Giants will score some points, but I don't expect it to be necessarily pretty because the Bills' defense doesn't play, and they have to. They really can only throw it to Saquon or Evan Ingram. Like that's their only option. So I don't expect them to win. If they do, I will be incredibly surprised. So yeah, I think Buffalo's winning, and that's about it. Moving on, we got the Niners at Bengals. Have Cincinnati winning 23-20. Just plain and simple, the Niners didn't look very good last week against a horrible Tampa Bay defense. Jimmy G in that offense just didn't look good. While they did win like I predicted them, it just it didn't give me any more confidence than I already had. There was nothing really encouraging about that. Jimmy G threw a pick six, I believe. Maybe he had like 2 picks in general. It just wasn't pretty. And then Tevin Coleman got hurt. I just don't know what the future of this team really is. And I think Cincinnati will be able to run the ball. Joe Mixon, I think he'll have a good week. And then Tower Boy, John Ross, they're going to do enough for them. And I just think this is another dogfight type match for both these teams, which they had last week. But I do think the Bengals are going to win. So yeah. We got the Chargers going to Detroit to face the Lions. I have the Chargers running 28-24. I think Detroit showed they can be a good team, but you don't get that big of a lead and then let the Cardinals come all the way back. That's just, you can't let that happen. The Chargers, encouraging sign, Austin Eckler looks really good. Philip Rivers is going to do his thing. Injury of Hunter Henry, but it's a big blow. Same thing with Mike Williams. I think Keenan Allen will show up this week. Same thing with Eckler. And I think they will win this game. It'll be close because the Lions aren't a team to necessarily sleep on, especially in a matchup when they're at home like this. I just think the Chargers are just a better team still, regardless of injuries. Both sides of the ball, they're just better. So they should win. Moving on, we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Green Bay. I have the Vikings winning 28-27. I think this game will be close, as these games usually are. Minnesota and Green Bay are, in division rivalry at NFC North, and I just think the Vikings are a better team. I mean, Kirk Cousins threw 10 passes last week, and their team won pretty dominantly. They played really good defense, while I think the Packers' defense is better this year. I don't think it's all what it's hyped up to be. They played the Bears last week. Mitchell Trubisky looked awful. Just awful. And the sad thing is he didn't even have the worst quarterback performance in week 1. It just wasn't pretty. But I fully expect to see the Vikings establish the run once again. Dalvin Cook should have another great week. And they still have 2 incredible outside weapons. People don't realize that. Even though they didn't really use them, they're still there. Like I said, I think the Packers will be in this game. If they win it, it won't shock me at all. It's Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know how much I buy into the Packers just yet. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So, moving on, we got Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston Texans. Nick Foles got hurt, so they have Gardner, and that man's a stud. No, I'm kidding, but he looked really good. But Houston looked really good last week. That was a game that they were so close to winning. Deshaun looked incredible. He really put the team on his back, and that defense let him down. So did their coordinator. I don't know why he did the things that he did, but it happened. But I expected Texans to bounce back. Win 27-20. I think Gardner will look decent for the Jaguars, and it sucks because Nick Foles actually did look really good before he got hurt. And I think that this was a team that could have done some things. You know, definitely shooken some games up, but now we're gonna have to wait and see. But the Texans are a good team. They just got to get their offensive line issues solved, and I think Deshaun Watson will win them a lot of games. He's gonna win them a lot of games regardless, but you need to protect him because he is your future. So Texans, get on that, man. Get on that. Next up, we have a slaughter of a game with New England going to Miami. While New England has some history of losing in Miami, it's a team they struggle to beat while they're in Miami. The Dolphins looked so bad last week. Unbelievable what Lamar Jackson did to them. And I don't expect New England to stop the slaughter. I have the Patriots winning 38-17. I think Fitzmagic comes out a little bit, but New England looked so dominant on defense. And they just got Antonio Brown. I believe he's going to play. I'm not too sure at the time we're recording this, but I believe he's going to play. And New England should absolutely smash the Dolphins. It shouldn't. There's no discussion. There's not much to say. Moving on, we have the Kansas City Chiefs going to Oakland to play the Raiders. I have the Chiefs winning 34-24. Oakland surprised me last week. They did some nice things. They really did. Tyrell Williams really showed up. Josh Jacobs had a good game. And Darren Waller doing his thing. But Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid is Andy Reid. Regardless of the Tyreek Hill injury and regardless of how good their defense is, this is a team that's just going to put up points like crazy every single week. I think I saw it was like 22 straight weeks of 25 plus points. That's just unreal, and I don't expect it to stop. Yeah, not much of a discussion in my opinion, once again. So let's move on to one of the games of the week. We have Saints at Rams. I have the Saints winning 31-28. I think they get their revenge, and this is a team that won in the regular season last year against in this matchup. Isn't easy, and Drew Brees showed that the man still got it. This team, both these teams are really good. This would be another dogfight. This is going to be such a good game. I just don't trust Jared Goff. That's just what it is. Regardless of what he's done, I don't want to take credit away from him, but he didn't look great last week. He really didn't. I expect him to bounce back, look better this week, and keep them in this game, obviously, because I have a 3-point difference for this. But I just trust the Saints more. I trust Drew Brees, trust Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. That's just it. I just trust the Saints more, and they're at home. Maybe if this game was in Los Angeles, I'd be swayed, but they're not, so. Yeah, that's it. Moving on, I have the Chicago Bears at Denver Broncos, and I have the Broncos losing to the Bears, winning 27-17. The Broncos did not look good. Joe Flacco looked horrible, and they didn't establish a run with Philip Lindsay like they should have. And the Bears, everyone knows how good their defense is. If Denver puts up 17 points like I have them, I'd honestly be surprised. I should probably have it lower, but whatever. Let's hope Trubisky shows up this week and does what he's supposed to. For the Sunday night game, we have Philadelphia Eagles going to Atlanta to face the Falcons. I have the Eagles winning 31-24. While I think both these teams are good, I just think Philly is a powerhouse, and they showed it last week. Not necessarily all the way through, but that second half, considering they put up that many points, came back and win. I just think Philly has too many weapons, and I like their coaching staff more. And these teams have played in recent memory. They had a playoff game against each other. They had a week 1 matchup, I believe, last year, and each time Philly's won. Regardless of who was playing quarterback, Philly's won. and I don't expect that win streak to stop here, to be honest. Let's move on to the final game of the week, the Monday night game, in the Cleveland Browns traveling to New York to face the Jets. I was actually really excited to watch this game, and then you get the news that Sam Darnold has mono. That's just fantastic. I think this could have been a really fun matchup to watch. And if Cleveland doesn't go in there and win 28-17 like I think they're going to, that's just embarrassing. And the future of Cleveland is kind of dependent on this game. This is a game they should win. Jets are out their starting quarterback, and Sam Darnold kind of makes this whole operation move, in my opinion. I'm currently sitting at 13-3-1 after that Thursday night L I took. I believe I think I have probably one of the best records out of people. I think I predicted some games that some people might not have expected. So yeah, I'm feeling very good about myself going into week 2. I think this is another week that could really shake things up for me. These are some interesting matchups for sure. I think we could see a lot of shockers, but let's hope not. Let's hope I can keep the momentum going. Like I said, that was the end of the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep these going every single week. Yeah, other than that, I really don't have too much to say. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you subscribe. I hope you enjoy my content. I really do. Let's keep this thing moving, boys. Let's keep this thing moving. But yeah, other than that, it's been your boy Detail, and I'm out. Peace.